This here is our original paint 46 Knucklehead. This is an update where we're at. She's down to the bare frame, as you can see. This is the crusty, before we did anything, front fender. And this is the polished out rear fender, slightly dusty here. And remember, these were pretty bikes. This is a lacquer paint job. So we polished out the oil tank. We've dipped all the nuts and bolts in the transmission case and the magic goo. Got rid of all the corrosion. She's completely rebuilt now. So
the frame was checked to make sure it was totally straight. Anything tricked on it? It's all polished down and waxed and all. It's all original paint.
Yep, all original paint. So we made sure she's straight. I had to rush around and find the right transmission lid. I don't know if you remember me doing a video about that. They're always frozen, so you always got to end up drilling a hole here, which it's not supposed to have, to get the little bar out. But we'll plug that so you can't see it. But she's all fresh and beautiful. With our very real original fender tip. A little up close of the transmission there. She's all clean and ready to go. All rebuilt, all inside.
I mentioned also that the oil tank is totally flushed out and clean.
Yeah, oil tank is totally flushed out and clean. That's what Duncan's telling you.
It's original paint on this.
But it's derusted. It's original paint. Super cheap, clean and cherry. You can see the difference between the crusty paint and the polished out paint. What a difference. We're polishing everything out. We have not pickled the heads yet. So I did have a front cylinder. I found an original paint front cylinder. So some of you guys are going, what? Front cylinders are gray. Well, guess what? They did make very limited amount experimental silver or gray, whatever you want to call it, Knuckleheads. I have a set of late 47 heads that are actual silver with no black underneath. These have the original black paint with the gray over it. That is correct. I do have a busted tang here, which we got to fix on this head. Real typical when people wear these bikes out and then they break. So I'm rushing around trying to find another head, but otherwise we'll use that.
Here's some of the internal engine parts. As we've either pickled them and cleaned them and derusted. So a lot of the internal parts we've also cleaned in the glass beaded. But you notice all the finishes, these are all original. They've been pickled and through a derusting agent and cleaned. So all this is original finish that was on the bike, just minus the rust. The oil pump. The internal engine parts, things like the shafts and all, we do go through a complete cleaning process, which we do with every engine rebuild anyway. So this is very important for us to do and make sure we get all the nasties out of the engine. But the outside finish and patina of the engine will stay the same. This case here, you can see, has been cleaned on its first process. This is the original case, and this is the original finish. And we'll go through another pickling process where this will even get cleaner, but we will not be hitting it with any abrasives or any brushes or any glass bead. And when we're ready to assemble, it'll be totally clean inside. It's a long process, but it does preserve that original look and the original of the bike.
That to me is very important. The difference between a bike that has this super clean and cherry and the fender's super clean and cherry is one that has been carefully preserved, which I've had bikes that are like brand new original paint. So to me, it is better to have a clean, original, polished bike than a rusty, cruddy, nobody cared about it bike any day. So we're bringing the bike back to what's left of its original luster and finish, as it has been preserved. We have rebuilt the brakes and carefully had them arced to the drum so I can actually stop the thing. Very important. And we've done some research, and this frame here is an early 46, which is end of wartime production, with a 1 degree rake difference. It has a different tab there for the control. It's not welded in place. That is correct. It's the little control I'm talking about right there. And this is a 6 months only frame. I didn't know that until we got this bike and go, oh, what's going on here? So it does have an offset springer. It has this very rare, unusual 1 degree pre-bull neck. And that is correct. It is a end of the wartime era production, so maybe they made 1,000, 2,000 of these prior to ramping up production with the bull neck frame 46. So it's a super rare bike, and it's a two-tone optional factory paint, which was a $5 extra charge to get the two-tone, which they automatically did your fender panels for the $5. You wanted to have your paint scheme, well, that was $10. That was a lot of money. So here we go. You can see how clean this transmission case is with the second pickling.
Everything internally in the transmission has been rebuilt and resealed. It's all fresh internally.
All fresh internally. She's ready to go. The motor will be just like that. So we'll have a frame-up mechanical rebuild with an original paint, 1946. We'll be able to take this bike anywhere around the country. So, we're any little nuts and bolts incorrect, we've been replacing with either new old stock or high-end used. And
a lot of times through the years we found, the bolts will fall out and be replaced with the wrong, so we will be going back to all original style hardware where anything needs to be done.
Anything needs to be done will be done. Here's our rear brake, and pop that side up. There we go. And you can see here the pads have been relined carefully. And they have been arced to the drum. That's an original paint brake. This is the brake that was on the machine. And it's all been rebuilt. Everything on this bike has been carefully rebuilt and rebushed and ready to go. So she's going to be top of the line machine when she's done. But there you have it. Everybody wanted an update. Here's the bike. Motor will be rebuilt here in another month or so, and we'll have the front end back on.
We're currently working on the engine right now.
And there she is. So,
and we actually do have some video of the engine being torn down by Daniel during the tearing the engine down.
Yeah, that's Daniel right there. And this is Duncan right here. So, that's the crew. And that's the update on the 46. Hopefully, in another couple months, we'll have this bike done. So, we'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.